morning, colleagues, especially to the National Minister of Transport, and acknowledgement all protocol as well. Colleagues, firstly, I would like to thank you all for coming to closure of year. And today is day 19 of our festive season. And having been day 19, we are going to reflect in terms of our efforts as law enforcement within our different provinces. How have we fared? What is it that we still need to do? What can we learn from it? And also what is important about the N1. N1 it's a connection to more families in the Eastern Cape. But also what is important that we should not forget about, N1, it can also be a site of tragedy if people don't behave on our roads. As much as we are going to be listening to the minister giving us the statistics, it's not about numbers, it's about lives. Because this death reflects a mother that won't be able to hold a child. It's about a father that won't be able to be at home for Christmas. It's about a friend whose laughter we are not going to be able to hear again. So it's not about numbers, it's about saving lives. And we are encouraged as the Western Cape that the minister is here. It also, shows her commitment in terms of what we are confronted with in terms of road fatalities on our road. And I also want to say to the minister, we as the Western Cape, we don't accept that, people losing lives on our roads is a norm. It's not going to happen. That's why we have deployed a lot of traffic officers on our roads. We are no longer static. We are patrolling. We are also using data so that we can pinpoint where the hotspots are. And we are also grateful, Minister, that we're able to give us support in terms of the National Traffic Police. And we are grateful in terms of what they have done so far. And I hope whatever is going to be shared here today is going to give us an opportunity as law enforcement to sit down, reflect, and see what is it that we still need to do to make sure that we save lives. Because ultimately what we want to see, we want to see people enjoying their festive season. We don't want people to cry. When there's a knock at the door and a child or a mother opens the door, it should not be people in uniform that they see, but it should be the father or the mother that they expect. So with those few words, colleagues, I would also want to thank the media. As much as you perceive yourself as observers, the stories that you share on national television about road safety plays a huge role. It hits hard and it makes people wonder, it makes people think. Thank you very much for what you're doing and for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will switch it to Minister. So I will move the microphone.
Let me start by acknowledging our program director for today, Ms. Refilwe Monkhale, who is the acting CEO of the Road Traffic Management Corporation. Let me acknowledge my brother, the MEC for Mobility in the Western Cape, the Honorable Seleko, and also my sister, the MEC for Transport and Community Safety in Limpopo, the Honorable Mate. Let me also acknowledge Ward Councillor Mr. Russell Johnson. Thank you for joining us. The Deputy Director General for Roads, the CEO of SANRAL, Mr. Reginald Demana, all CEOs of other transport entities present here today, all senior officials from provincial, national and local government, all executives present, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by thanking you for coming all the way to Toes River today to support our ongoing festive season road safety campaign. I think I must start, ladies and gentlemen, by extending a word of condolence to the families of the terrible tragedy on the N9 between Graaff-Reinet and Middelburg in the Eastern Cape, where 15 people died this past weekend. And in the same breath, let me also extend a word of condolence to all families who have lost loved ones, and to those who are in hospital recovering from serious injuries. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you. At the beginning of this festive season, we launched a road safety plan which involved deploying 1,000 national traffic police across the country to 20 defined hotspots that have over the years seen the largest number of accidents. We have also worked together with our provincial counterparts to make sure that we have consistent and maximum deployment of all provincial road traffic officers. And in many instances, we have also had excellent cooperation from municipalities, particularly our metros. Now, this heightened law enforcement operation is holding firm, and we are pleased to say that despite some of the inconsistencies with the implementation of the 24-hour shift system in provinces, we are managing to maintain high visibility on our highways. And out of the 20 priority areas where we have done deployment, so far 8 of those areas have not experienced any major crashes. Unfortunately, what we continue to see is that members of the public use mobile apps to identify the location of traffic calming measures and are moving onto secondary roads where we have seen an increase in major accidents. Our joint operations have seen a situation where we have had to date 561 roadblocks nationwide, and we have managed to stop 500,000 vehicles. The number of arrests so far has been over 3,000, and we do remain concerned about the high number of people amongst these 3,000 that we have pulled over for drunk driving. A third, or 941 of these 3,000 arrests has been for drunk driving. On this road that you see behind me, the operation we have been conducting over the last couple of days has pulled 50 drunk drivers off the road. And I think part of what has surprised us is that these drivers have been extremely under the influence of alcohol both day and night. And you would see that what we're doing here behind me is we are breathalyzing everybody that we are pulling off the road this morning. 230 of those arrested have been arrested for excessive speed. And I'm sorry to tell you, Honorable Mate, that the worst speed is still in your province, where we pulled somebody over for doing 188 kilometers an hour in a 120 zone. Now, it is unfortunate to report to you today that despite all of the work that we have been doing, there has been an increase in accidents and also an increase in fatalities. A 3% increase in serious accidents, with a total of 426 crashes that involve fatalities since the 1st of December, and 512 people have died on our roads since the 1st of September, since the 1st of December, which amounts to a 3% increase. What is deeply concerning is that 45% of those who have died are pedestrians. And the rest of the fatalities are made up more or less equally of drivers and also of passengers. It is worth noting that Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and Limpopo account for 70% of all the fatalities. And I suppose one would expect that because that would be reflective of the comparative populations of those provinces. Now, on Tuesday evening, we had a meeting with all provincial MECs, all road traffic management authorities, both national and provincial, to assess the situation that we find ourselves in. And in the course of that meeting, we took a decision to take some remedial action so that we should find a situation where we manage to stabilize the accident rate at a lower level. The first decision that we took is that we are going to have to divide our forces between the major 20 hotspots and the secondary roads. So our message today to those of you who are trying to avoid us by using the secondary routes is that that is not going to work going forward, because we will be moving some of our forces onto those secondary routes. The second decision that we took is that our provincial authorities will tighten up our relationships, particularly with the Metro Police, so that we must make sure we are more effectively patrolling roads, particularly those roads between settlements where pedestrians are crossing major roads at night. We have arrested 98 pedestrians for crossing roads in unsafe places, but we are now asking that our metro partners need to step up and help us with effective patrolling of those metro areas so that we reduce the pedestrian death toll. We have also asked municipalities to step up roadblocks to test for alcohol, because we all know it's a no-brainer. Alcohol and driving don't mix. The fourth area that we have asked our provincial authorities to implement is we are moving away from static roadblocks to mobile patrols and what we call mobile violation interventions. And the idea of that is to try and stretch the effectivity of our law enforcement agencies, and also to try and make sure that those who would be using apps to avoid us will not find it so easy to find us on the roads. To ensure consistency in law enforcement, we have decided that provincial traffic departments should adopt a common template with ourselves and share that template with municipalities, so that all of us across national, provincial, and local government are operating in the same manner and looking for the same things. We have also asked that provincial control rooms comprising senior provincial and municipal traffic officers must be set up to ensure that there is common implementation and common monitoring of our plans. Considering the challenges that some provinces are experiencing with the 24/7 traffic officer deployment, we've asked all of our provinces to use a flexi-shift system. And what that means is, for example, we know that tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday will be very intense periods because many businesses are closing tomorrow and many people will be moving to their festive season destinations tomorrow. So we've asked that where we have limitations in the availability of officers, those officers should be deployed during the peak periods. The second peak period we're expecting is after New Year on the 2nd and 3rd of January, when many of those who have gone away will start returning to the major urban centers. I want to take this opportunity to say a word of thanks to all of our officers who are doing a lot of overtime at the moment, particularly those who belong to the National Traffic Force. These officers have left their own families and they are out on the streets at night to make sure that your family and my family are safe when they are driving on the roads. And I want to thank them for that dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also take this opportunity to thank our social partners, faith-based organizations, community organizations, public transport industry, the freight industry, and many other non-governmental organizations, such as the one, the Master Drive you see next to us, all of whom have joined us and are out on the streets in this campaign. It is not possible for government alone to change driver behavior, and we're extremely grateful to all of those in civil society who are helping us to spread the message. As I conclude, let me remind you that road safety is everyone's responsibility. It is my responsibility, it is your responsibility, and each of us must try and moderate our behavior so that we are obeying the rules of the road. Please wear your seatbelt. Please strap your children in. We have an explosion of brain damage of very young children in our country. I had a most unfortunate experience the other day when I was working at a roadblock in Mpumalanga, and we pulled over a car where there was a mother with two young children in the back. And she explained to me how it was entirely her democratic right not to strap her children up in the car. Unfortunately, such a democratic right could have very, very tragic consequences for those children. And by the way, it's not your democratic right. It is the law in this country that everybody in a vehicle must be strapped in. If you're going to party, please stay until you've sobered up. Please don't get behind the wheel of a car. Please don't walk down the road at night. If you are going to walk down a road at night, please wear a white t-shirt so that you are visible. Please stick to the speed limit, because we all know that speed kills. Let me say it once more. Road safety is the responsibility of everybody. Let's be responsible. Let's arrive alive this season. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Minister. The media has approached us, and we are at your service.
Vote of thanks? No, we're not doing questions.
We are not going to do questions. We are going to do one-on-one interviews. And now we will quickly move to MC Martin to do a vote of thanks and do the one-on-one.
You are sensible, yes.
Thank you very much.
You are sensible. You're wearing long
Thank
sleeves.
you all for the opportunity given to me. My honorable minister, the woman who's leading from the front, she's always on top of us. That's why we're here from Limpopo. And Minister, let me say thank you so much for having invited us into today's program. I'm happy because you have taken us to N1, which stretches from Cape Town to via my province to the Central Africa. So the same problems that we are experiencing here in Cape Town are the same problems that we are experiencing in Limpopo. The road is fine, everything is fine, but we cannot just change the mentality or the thinking of a driver where people will be driving using their cell phones. So to our stakeholders that are here, let me take this opportunity again to say we don't know how to thank you, for you have been here since in the morning. Some have traveled from far away because here I'm with the officials from my department. I've heard that even the KwaZulu-Natal is here. And to the MEC for Western Cape, thank you so much for hosting us in your province. Though it's hot, it reminds me of home. We are being grilled here. But to me, it was like a lesson I've learned 2 or 3. I've been here since past 9. So where I was just watching what was happening, how your people are doing their things, so that going back home, I will be saying, I've learned 1 or 2 things from Western Cape. But from us as a team was saying, as she said, the issue of road safety is not her baby. It is our responsibility as leaders, as people that are being led, as churches, everyone. Because once there's an accident, that accident will disrupt the economy of the country and also the setup of the family. A family which will lose its people, a family which will lose the father and the mother, and the children are left alone. So to us, we are saying, let us join our hands together to fight this scourge. The road accidents now, to me, is equal to coronavirus. So we fought coronavirus together. Let us fight this one together. With these few words, Honorable Minister, let me take this opportunity to say thank you so much for having invited us and share the statistics with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, can we be released from hell?
We are recruited. The former proceedings are over. Thank you, everyone.
You must be released from hell.
Let me check it.
From hell. And go to heaven.
Yes.
512 and 439. 439, 512.
Don't worry, that's next one.
Okay.
They still are insisting that they want to do it here.
You and me. You and me. That's it. Okay. Which gentleman? This one.
Yeah, but those are
Okay,
also
come
from
here.
the States. Let me get it for now, yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Just one more quick minute.
You and me speaking about the side of the road.
One last one.
Thank you. This is not your phone.
No. These belong to journalists.
Oh, okay. These phones will be burning by now. Almost melting.
No. I was actually commenting that we want to see him relaxing and enjoying. No. a big one.